I know this is kind of like that Red Wing short I posted a long time ago, but is this acceptable for a direct from redwingshoes.com purchase? Not some other company or third party, not a factory second. These look like two different boots, like two different lasts. They're both supposed to look like the boot on the left, the right boot with the sprung toe. This is the 1155. I don't know what they did to the right boot, but that's completely out of spec. This should be a factory second. This is ridiculous. I mean, this boot on the right here, sorry, the right boot on the left, this boot is how these boots are supposed to look. They're supposed to have a sprung toe. That's actually part of why I like this boot. It's kind of a pointy toe, but I went up to a 12 because that's what I found as my cowboy boot size, and that's definitely the best I can get for a D. This is a 12D on their website, and don't tell me, oh, you got to buy from their store. None of the Red Wing stores near me have this boot in stock in most sizes. For some months back, literally 0 sizes were available, but definitely not in my size. I'm noticing since I purchased these, I don't know, a week or so back, there are some stores far away from me in my state that do have it in stock. So I don't know if that means they're, upping the production of this. But when I ordered these, literally there wasn't anything in California where I live that had this in stock in 12D. It doesn't even seem like they stock any stores or with a website other widths, by the way. Like you can't get an E or double E or anything because I'd heard that it's a narrow last, and I agree that it's definitely a narrow toe box. Fortunately, it's a softer, thinner leather, so it actually isn't uncomfortable. But you saw they're so out of spec. I mean, like this is what the boot's supposed to look like, and then look at this boot. It's like it's a joke. This looks like if you think of Nick's boots, you've seen a lot of my videos. This looks like an H&W, like really flat toe, and this is like a 67 with a sprung toe. It's like not even the same boot. Like how can they consider this acceptable? This boot's not stepping on the other boot. Look at this. That's completely ludicrous. I mean, I can't describe anything else. That's completely unacceptable. This is not a factory first boot. This is substandard. Sadly, that's not the only thing, but that's the deal breaker. If both toes were propped up, I would have kept these boots. They fit good enough. I'd say the heel's a little bit loose, but I walked around on carpet and there's not heel slip per se. It's just not a snug fit like I'm wearing my Unsung Engineers, and they have a really good heel lock. They don't have that at all. They kind of remind me of the Wesco Van Cleefs I used to have that I sold, but it still works. But this boot is defective. There's actually like a scratch or dent on the toe. I just noticed touching it. Yeah, there's like a protrusion. That's kind of stupid. But if both pairs look like this, I would have kept these boots. But that's not the only thing. Look at this stuff. This is kind of wild. So let me make sure I can get the lighting on this good for you guys. What the hell is going on with the heel counter there? It's like protruding out so much. It's like you can see it. Hopefully that's coming out of the camera, like denting out right there. This is like Alden, or worse. This is worse than Alden. Alden tries to scratch it up in the bottom. This is like up here. This stitching, I don't know. I think it's challenging for these companies to do the side welt, but this is pulled really far apart so you can see it. Kind of looks a little bit crappy. A lot of wrinkling on the leather. That's not so great. The heel, I would say the heel work.
A lot of heel work.
Is pretty good, like the sanding. I really like this sole. It's really a shame. This is a really cool sole, this color and this texture. It's kind of old school. It looks almost like some retro boot. I know they've made the 1155 for a long time. There's a rubber or plastic midsole you can see really closely. That's not exactly great, but hey, it's better than nothing. The welt actually for Red Wing looks really nice. The stitching, obviously, the density kind of varies, but that's fine. I don't care about that. Like, outside of the fact that these look like two different boots, which is a complete disaster, it's good enough. I don't know what this is. There's like this shiny, I don't know if that's grease. It's sticky. I don't know what that is. Something a little bit funky there. You know, this boot is fine. Like this boot, if both of them were like this, I would have kept them. This boot's another disaster because, yeah, that's already a fail. Like this is a deal breaker by this being flat when it's supposed to be sprung. I don't understand how that's even possible because it should have been lasted on the same last. Do they have a flat last that's similar to the whatever the last is they use on the 1155? I don't know. It looks like the serial numbers, let me just double check. It's the same serial number on the little Red Wing tag in here. So it's not like they put two boots together, but I mean, look at this. This is some questionable stuff, but this is kind of Red Wing, you know? A lot of crinkly leather, stitching falling out. This just looks kind of ugly. This looks kind of ugly. You can really see the heel counter on there. Sticking out again. I guess that's just how they do these. But again, sole, the heel sanding, it looks great. It's just, this could be two different boots. There's glue. Looks like there's a lot of glue on it. Yeah, it's just a real shame. This leather is, it's definitely not Chrome XL, but it reminds me a little bit of brown Chrome XL, but it doesn't have pull up so much. It's much darker on the inside. Smells kind of chemically. This is kind of cool, actually, if you look at this one. It has the tannery mark. Let me see if I can get that to focus. If you guys can see inside there. Look at the tannery mark right there on the leather, on the hide. The silver printing. That's kind of neat. It's not the coolest color, though. I mean, it's kind of like a darker, uglier brown versus I'm more into the lighter browns. This is like if I'm trying to relate to Nick's or somebody again, like more like a walnut versus a 64 brown kind of vibe. But I still would have kept it, and I'm sure, you know, might wear well because it's not going to show scratches as much being so dark. But they failed again. It's been, I think the last time I bought a Red Wing was the Mocto 875 back in early 2022, I think. And that one I posted a short about. You may have seen it. It's had a lot of views, kind of wild how many views. I think it's had like 45,000 views, which is kind of insane. But I should have learned my lesson. I clearly didn't. You know, here I am 3 years later-ish, and they did it to me again. So I think I should have just stuck to my original take, which is just not, this brand is not something I'm going to consider. You know, this is a $299 boot, $300, you know, 300 something with tax. I've gotten Trumans for not much more than that on sale with the loyalty and then the winter discount, and they blow this garbage out of the water, you know. It's sad because I always thought that old number 8 last had a cool look, and I do like the way my ancient Iron Rangers look from like 12 plus years ago, 13 years ago. But I understood it's a different last. They changed it. Some of you guys have commented how, you know, about, I mentioned that I had heard the same, that they changed the fit and sizing like a decade ago. And then somebody clarified in the comments that they further refined or changed their lasts around. I think during COVID or after COVID, they were saying, they had a long, detailed comment about it. It was very interesting. So it almost sounds like the current number 8, which this is not a number 8, but the number 8 that the Iron Ranger's built on isn't even the same. So I've kind of always wondered, how is my current Red Wing sizing compared to my 12, 13-year-old Red Wing sizing? I've shown pictures and posts before, and if I can find them, I'll throw them up here again, but it shows how wild their sizing is. Whereas my really old Iron Ranger and an 11D is like drastically bigger than a used pair of modern Iron Rangers that I bought off eBay in 11D. They should be the exact same size. My pair looked like 2 sizes larger almost. It was like ludicrous. So like I can't even use my old sizing on their modern stuff because it's not the same, combined with, you know, 2 disasters with their quality control, you know, and I can't listen to this, you know, the typical knee-jerk apologist bullshit comment I always get is, you need to buy it from a store. If they can't freaking get their products organized enough to sell online when they have a freaking website, and you have to go and, you know, sort through 30 pairs of boots in the store, which, like I said, I couldn't even do that with this pair for where I live. That's a load of shit, and that company can suck. Yeah, I'll just leave off some of the expletives there. But, you know, this brand is BS. This is unacceptable. You know, I tried. I thought I should have learned, but I think I was giving them another chance. It was a mistake. My bad. I'm done. I'm just returning these. I'm not going to even ask for an exchange, even if they had it, because it's just like the next one's going to be crap. Somebody commented on a post I just did, and they said they went to the store and they had to go through, and they're probably exaggerating. They're like 100 pairs of boots, and they all were stitched like shit. You know, they're saying they look like children stitched the boots together. Like, this brand, what are you guys doing? Somebody said make Red Wing great again. Like, they're not there yet. This pair, I don't know, these is like paper, man. These tags in here, they used to be like a thick thing, at least in my Iron Ranger, it's sewed onto the tongue. This is like a piece of paper. You could throw it away. They used to put yeah, here it is. So this pair was built 2/25. So this is a February 25 production. That's probably why I actually saw it on the site, because they probably just put them up. This is current, you know, as of this video, same month. Maybe these were made at the beginning of the month, posting this near the end of the month. This is trash. Look at this. This is freaking trash. This is completely out of spec. This should have been a factory second. Their quality control is just proven yet again. It's junk. Honestly, if I look at these from above, I don't know how well it's coming in the video. These toe shapes don't even look the same. The one that's flatter looks kind of wider, like a different, wider H&W-ish last, whereas this is more of like a pointy, I think like a NYX 5332, almost has that Packer point. It's like, did you guys even use the right last on these two boots? This one looks correct. Like, did you use the wrong last on this pair? Do better, guys. I don't even care, though, because I'm done. Later.